We're on YouTube now. Oh my god. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Zach. I make content that revolves around dom sub relationships and the BDSM world in general. I don't like to consider myself an educator. Some people call me that. I really just try to talk about my experiences and the lifestyle. I have almost 200,000 followers on TikTok, 50,000 and growing on Instagram, like 40K on Facebook. I'm building a little bit of a following. That's just that's just the point I'm trying to make. I wanted to make YouTube videos so that I could talk about some more stuff in depth, and just to overall give you guys a little bit of more of a peek into my life to see the kind of person that I am. And that's really what the video, this one, is going to be about, is me explaining who I am, how I got into the lifestyle, and to kind of just give a little bit more information on who I am as a person. Because even if you've been following me for 3+ years at this point, I don't really talk a lot about myself. I really want to make the content that I make in a way for people to relate to it and use it as a way to see what they want out of their own life. So, with that, I try not to talk about too much about myself, about who I am. And in order for me to build a following that trusts me, I want to give you guys this opportunity to learn a little bit more about me. So, this is going to be like the first video in a set of videos giving you guys the introduction to the channel and to who I am as a person. Um, First off, we'll start with how I got into this in the first place. Like 10 years ago, I was on Tumblr as a teenager, and if this is starting to sound familiar, yes, this is how a lot of people learned about kink and dom sub relationships in general. And I was just scrolling, and I was like, okay, this sounds like something that I would really be into and something that I want to learn about. And it was mostly because of the fact that I was raised by a very traditional father. I don't say that with any malice whatsoever. I am completely grateful to that man for teaching me what he did on how to be a good man, on what a good man should do. And before I get into any of this, I am so aware that there are male subs and female doms. I am only speaking from my own experience and how I was brought up and how I got into this in the first place. Don't mean to exclude anybody with this. I'm just speaking about what I know about, which is just my experience. My father raised me to be a very traditional man. He always told me to be calm yet strong, firm yet gentle, a person that people could look to and a person that helps. To me, as a man, you are built strong enough to serve people. You are built strong enough to provide not only for yourself, but for people around you. Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you do everything in your power to help people in your community if you were given the strength to do so? I was given a strong, healthy. Just kidding. I need to get back in the gym, bro. I was given a strong, healthy body. Why wouldn't I use that to take care of the people around me? That's how I was raised. That's how my father raised me, a traditional, strong man. And with that, when I found a dom sub relationship, I was like, this seems like a traditional relationship without any of the misogyny added. Like, this seems like a way for me to find a woman in my life who truly wants me to be naturally myself, because this is who I am. This is who was always meant to be. This isn't truly because of the way that my father raised me. He, of course, navigated me down this path, but this was always who I was meant to be. All I think about day to day is how much better I can make myself so I can improve the lives of those around me, the people who I love, the people who love me. So when I found a dom sub relationship and I was like, okay, so in this dynamic, you can fully step into that wanting to take control so you can make things better, wanting to make a safe and nurturing environment. And there will be somebody who comes into that relationship with not only the expectation of you to do that, but also fully willing to let you step into that energy and submit to it and be somebody who loves you for it. I was like, waiter, please, I'll take one of those. Like it clicked for me so immediately that it was something that I wanted to explore right away. That's how I got into it. People who have been following me for a while already knew all of that, but I'm trying to treat this like who the fuck is this guy? I have no idea who this guy is. So there's that information. Information about me, stuff I like, who I am as a person. Now we're going to talk a little bit about that. My favorite things to do in this world are to go out on walks in nature, listen to music, play video games, make content for you guys, and just overall try to make myself better as a person. I love learning things. I love reading books. You can see all of my ACOTAR books there in the back. I'm trying to get through all of them right now. I I love learning things and I love going to experience stuff. My ideal day is going on a walk at the beach with my girlfriend because I love the beach. I grew up in California, Southern California, so the beach is part of my blood. It's a place that I feel so at peace and so happy. Could definitely have something to do with the fact that I'm a Scorpio and a water sign, but we can talk about that stuff later. My ideal day is going on a walk on the beach with my girlfriend, going to a cute little cafe and eating some great food, and then going to a concert later on that night for one of our favorite bands. Music and nature is just a part of my blood at this point. It's what I was raised on. It's a huge part of me. Um, and that's my ideal day. Those are some of my biggest likes. And I know that there's neurodivergent people that watch me, so you're probably curious about what my hyperfixation is. It's Deadlock right now. It's this video game called Deadlock. I don't know if you guys have ever played it. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but when I start streaming on Twitch, that's probably what I'm going to be playing. That's my hyperfixation right now. I'm so into that video game at the moment. Um, as for other stuff, like, dude, I am the biggest nerd in the world. I love everything Marvel and Star Wars. I like to read books. Again, I just love to learn. I love to learn about things. The more stuff that I can learn about, the more cultured I can be, the more that I can try to help others. Because again, I truly feel like, and I truly don't say this from a place of any type of ego. I think that I was put on earth to help people, to try my best to help people. My ring light went out. I'm not going to edit that out. I don't care. Um, I truly think that it was my purpose on this. I was put on this planet to try to help people. That is what I want to do with myself. That's what I want to do with my life. And to me, in order to help people, I need to learn things. I need to put myself out there and experience stuff so I can talk to people about them. I can relate and I can listen to people with empathy and understanding. I mean to bring this up, the dorky, nerdy part of it, so that hopefully some of you can relate to this. That I've always kind of lived more of an alternative lifestyle. I got my bachelor's in computer science and I was in the corporate world for about a year. I had a UX design contract, and once that contract ended, I was thrown back out of the corporate world, and it made me miserable. I didn't want to continue to be a part of it. It was so cookie cutter. I didn't, I've always wanted to live more of an alternative lifestyle. It's not the white picket fence, going to an office every day thing sounded miserable to me. It's not what I wanted for myself. It's not what I wanted for my family. So with that, I got bullied a lot when I was in school, or rather, not the school type of bullying, the like movie type of bullying where people like shove you into lockers and stuff. It was just like I was a very standoffish kid because I didn't fit in with a lot of other people. I had a lot of friends, but I also had a lot of people who didn't like me. And with that, I got into a lot of fights, won some, lost some. I learned a lot about myself doing that too. And I want you to know that I can relate with you on that. I can relate with you on the idea of not fitting in, of people looking down on you, of people trying to make you insecure. I've always wanted more of an alternative lifestyle. And I feel like when people notice that about you, they want you to fit the norm. They want to put you back into that box so that they don't feel weird about living the life that they do. To me, you live whatever type of life you want to live. Whatever makes you happy, I think you should go out and do that. I didn't like the idea of other people trying to put me into the same box as them so that they felt more comfortable about themselves. The point that I'm trying to make with all of this is that if you have ever felt cast out, if you've ever felt like you were on the outside looking in, if you have ever felt bullied and insecure and like people were looking down on you just for you being somebody that you're trying to be, you trying to be somebody that you were always meant to be, I know how you feel. The only way that I'm able to do this in the first place, because content creation is fucking terrifying, is because I stopped caring what people think about me. I wanted for my life to be different, to have a different life than the ones that I saw growing up. And in order to do that, I needed to be free. And in order to be free, I needed to be honest with myself about what I wanted. I am the biggest fucking dork, and I have been bullied, and I have had people look down on me. And I don't ever see myself being any other way now. I want you to know that if you have ever felt the same way, like, you have a safe place here. You have somebody who understands and somebody who sees you, and that's a very important part of me that I want you to know. At this point, I'm rambling, so that's enough about me. That's enough about who I am as a person. I want to give you the pillars of what I'm trying to build my content on now. Consent, humor, empathy. I think that having those three things, especially talking about the topic that I talk about, dom, sub relationships, BDSM, kink, all of it, I think having those three things at the forefront of my mind will allow me to make the best content I can make for you guys. Because consent is very important in our lives in general. It makes us feel safe. It allows us to have bodily autonomy. It makes us feel human. Humor, to me, is one of the biggest markers of our intelligence as people. Having a sense of humor, it shows social awareness. It shows that you are aware of what's going on around you and what's going on within yourself. And empathy, to me, that's a no-brainer. I don't need to explain it. Building my content on these pillars, that's what I'm striving for. That's what I'm hoping to give with my content, to push those ideas out and to hopefully humanize the conversation around all of this. It's kind of my tagline that I post on all of my social media, kind of in my bio, is that I am trying to humanize the conversation around dom-sub, because I want us to feel like we can talk about this openly. It's why my name is Aftershare on all of my socials too. And I don't really talk about this either, is the meaning of my name on social media, Aftershare. Aftershare is the idea that as a community, as a social space, on my content, like in my comment sections, we are all kind of experiencing aftercare together. It's like we are in the process of sharing our feelings during aftercare. And that's what I try to do with my content. I want us to feel like we are in that safe, controlled space afterward, where we are able to share our feelings and be vulnerable with each other and just have a space where we can be human. That's the goal. That's the mission. That's what I'm trying to get out of doing this. Thank you for watching this part. The next video, we'll talk about more stuff that maybe you guys have been curious about. I just felt like I needed to make a video talking a little bit about me so you guys know who I am. On to the next one.